Hey everybody, today we're going to myth bust taxes. Some of these things we hear often from incoming clients, and others we just know are popular on the internet. Myth number 1, filing taxes is voluntary. This couldn't be further from the truth. This is the easiest way to get on the IRS's radar, actually. While the Form 1040 instruction book describes the tax system as voluntary, it's referring to the fact that each individual is responsible for determining the correct amount of tax they owe. Myth number 2, illegal activity is not taxable. Income is income as far as the IRS is concerned. So the easiest example to use is cannabis. Even though in certain states it's legal, and in nearly all states it's medically legal, it's still federally illegal. But that doesn't mean it's tax-free. It's actually worse. That means that the IRS forces you to claim all income, but does not allow cannabis-related businesses to deduct any overhead expenses related to the business. The only expenses allowed to be deducted are costs of goods sold, directly related to preparing the product for sale. So cannabis-related businesses end up paying taxes that are significantly higher than any other retail business that is allowed to deduct expenses such as rent, payroll, phone expenses, website costs. Myth number 3, home office means audit. This used to be somewhat true. Think about 20 years ago. How many people did you know that actually worked at home, met with clients at their home, had a dedicated office space in their home just for the business? Fast forward, here we are after the pandemic. Now seemingly everybody has a home office. It's true that this is an area that gets greatly exploited, so it's important to keep the expenses you're claiming as business use of home reasonable, so as to not raise red flags. And remember, before you rush to deduct half of your rent because you sit at your kitchen table to do your invoicing, there are tests that need to be satisfied in order to claim the deduction. Myth number 4, money made online is tax-free. So it doesn't matter where you made the money. If you're going to get a 1099 or if you gave the person paying you a W-9, you must pay taxes on all income earned in a given tax year, regardless of where it was earned. Just because there is no proof of payment on file with the IRS doesn't mean that you don't need to pay taxes on it. If the IRS was to audit you and look through your bank account and they see deposits into your bank account that weren't recorded as income on your tax return, you're gonna have big problems. Please, I didn't know. Myth number 5, I don't make enough to get audited. Income actually has very little to do with being audited. There are plenty of other measures and flags that will trigger an audit before your income will. And the more income you earn, the more complicated your return will be to audit, and for that reason, there are actually very few audits of individuals who earn a significant amount of income. There is about a 1% chance of audit if you earn $100,000 or less. Myth number 6, my accountant is liable for any mistakes. Regardless of whether or not you hire an accountant to file your taxes on your behalf, you as the taxpayer are ultimately responsible for any mistakes. This is why foundational knowledge of taxes is paramount. Once your tax preparer finishes the return, review it and ask questions. If something looks off, ask your tax preparer to explain where the number is coming from and determine for yourself if the treatment of the amount in question is handled properly. Your tax preparer, your accountant, can help guide you through an audit should you ever be under one, but ultimately the IRS only cares about the taxpayer and the spouse. Myths busted! If you found this video helpful, we're real accountants and CPAs who work with hundreds of small business owners just like you every day. Check us out at engagecpas.com to see if we're a good fit for your business. We also have business courses available to help small business owners understand their business. They're for you to learn about your financials, your taxes, how to pick the right entity, tax myths, and everything else about your business. Learn at your own pace. Check those courses out on the Education tab on our website. You can also find us on Instagram at Engage CPAs.